In the headlines, court remands suspended Accountant General Idris in Kuje prison over 109 billion naira fraud. 30 dead, 12 injured in ghastly motor accident along Zaria to Kano Expressway. Federal government projects 6.72 trillion naira petrol subsidy for 2023. And on the foreign scene, Ukraine, Russia to sign elusive grain deal in Turkey. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Friday arraigned a former Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, and 3 others before a Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja over alleged 109 billion naira fraud. In the ruling, the court has ordered they be remanded in Kuje Correctional Facility till the hearing of his bail application on Wednesday, the 27th of July, 2022. Trial Justice Adeyemi Ajayi remanded the ex-AGF after he was arraigned on a 14-count charge that bordered on conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, and money laundering.
What is interesting in this is that plea has been taken and the charges have been read. And interestingly, what are contained in the charges are quite different from what was dished out to the media. Because in the media, it has been all over the place that the man collected billions of naira from the treasury. But what we have seen shows that the contents of the book are quite different from the title of the book itself. When you see the charge, you will see what was in the media before. It's the same amount, it's the same figure. And you see the confessional statement there. It's only in our country that somebody who make a confessional statement will still come before the world and tell the world that he's innocent. So it has to tell you about our value system. Get the confessional statement made by all of them. These some were admitted by them. So it's not a question of being played to the gallery or saying something different. It is a exact figure that you people reported that is in the charge.
30 persons were feared dead after a ghastly auto crash along Zaria-Kano Expressway on Thursday evening. Assistant Corps Commander in charge of Zaria Zone, Abdurrahman Yakase, who spoke to Daily Trust, confirmed the accident, adding that 12 persons sustained serious injuries. He said the accident was caused by overspeeding and dangerous overtaking, where 2 Toyota 18-seater buses and a Volkswagen Golf collided. The unit commander said the FRSC were yet to ascertain the registration numbers of the vehicles because the vehicles were burnt to ashes. He, however, assured that efforts are being made to obtain the manifest and additional details of the victims. Police have arrested a 36-year-old man, Abubakar Hamidu, who allegedly raped a 12-year-old girl, Amina Ibrahim, in Gombe metropolis. Speaking to newsmen, the Gombe State Commissioner of Police, Ishola Babaita, said the suspect and the victim were taken to police clinic in Gombe for medical examinations. Ibrahim Ismail reports.
The 35-year-old Abubakar Hamidu confessed to have lured the 12-year-old girl, Amina Ibrahim, to his room with 500 naira and committed the said crime. But according to the police report, the 35-year-old suspect raped the victim twice in a month. I raped a girl. I offered her 500 naira and took her to a room. She screamed after I raped her.
Bayan kai ne ta ihu ko kuma me ya faru?
Bayan nayi ne. 3 weeks later, the police went to my room and arrested me. It was a devil's act.
Bayan da sati uku ina kwance sai ga 'yan sanda sun zo ɗaki na sun ɗauke ni.
The police command also paraded other 4 suspects over alleged motorcycle theft in Gombe State and one Awali Yakubu from Bauchi in possession of military uniforms.
The
shoes and the uniforms are not up to 5,000 naira each. I buy from sellers and sell at checkpoints. I buy some at 3,000 and sell 4,500 and 4,000 then sell 5,000 naira.
5,000.
We break into the house while the owner was sleeping. We took the bike and went away. This is the first and the last theft. People should pray for us. The Commissioner of Police, Gombe State Command, Ishola Babaita, said the suspects will be charged to court.
I want to assure the citizens of the Gombe State that the police command is committed, that the command is committed to their security, and criminal cases will be transparently investigated and suspects be charged to court to uphold the course of justice. In addition, the command once again call on politicians not to engage youth in acts of political thuggery and substance abuse for their selfish interests, while the parents and the world are advised to ensure that their children are not involved in this act of lawlessness or criminal activities.
The police commissioner urged Gombe residents to assist the force with useful information that will complement its effort in ensuring adequate protection of lives and property. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
The Director of Personnel Management and a veterinary doctor with the Department of Veterinary Medicine in Kwantagora local government area of Niger State have been reportedly kidnapped. Daily Trust gathered that the director was kidnapped on Friday on his farm along Kwantagora Mariga Road alongside some laborers working with him, while the veterinary doctor was reportedly abducted on Thursday morning while returning to Kwantagora from surrounding villages where he had gone to vaccinate animals. Daily Trust gathered that the bandits later called and demanded for 15 million naira ransom. The Niger State Police Public Relations Officer DSP Wasio Abiodun is yet to confirm the incident. Meanwhile, bandits have killed 5 mobile policemen who are said to be on special duty from Kano and 3 civilians at Gatikawa community in Kankara local government area of Katsina State. Sources said the incident occurred on Wednesday when over 300 gunmen stormed the community and started shooting to scare residents. One of the sources said the gunmen rode on motorcycles and went from house to house, carting away anything of value, including money and food items. He said that several residents were also injured, especially those trying to escape from the gunmen, and some had since relocated to neighboring communities for fear of another attack. This is the second time this month that police officers have been killed by bandits. It could be recalled that gunmen killed a senior police officer in charge of the Dutz-Imma Council area, Assistant Commissioner of Police Aminu Umar, alongside one other police officer and several civilians. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Katsina State Command, CP Idris Dauda, has presented checks of 14.6 million naira to families and next of kin of deceased police officers who died while in active service on behalf of the Inspector General of Police, Al-Ali Baba Usman. Now, mixed reactions are trailing the suspension of the Emir of Benin Endoto Emirate by Zamfara State government following the turbaning of bandit leader Ado Aliru. Aliru, who was recently turbaned as Sarkin Fulani of Endoto and Daji Emirate, is said to be on the wanted list of the federal government. The report.
A civil society activist, Bachiri Sarkin Fulani, believes that the turbaning of the bandits' leader as the Sarkin Fulani portends grave danger for the immediate community as well as the society at large, stressing that it means the bandits are in control of Aliru's community. A situation, he said, is a dent on the image of the state. For him, the suspension of the Emir of Benin Endoto Emirate, Aliyu Marafa, must be uploaded by people of goodwill and charge the state government to hit hard on political office holders who attended that ceremony.
If the government have directed such events, they should have done it on a certain basis, and there should not be for them to reverse it. That should be contradictory. Just 2 weeks ago, the governor was saying that people should be given license to take apps, and now you are negotiating. So we want to have a clear direction of what the government wants. Do you want negotiating? Do you want to take arms? Do you want protection by the security agencies? So the government should be firm and straightforward of what they need to solve this problem.
A journalist, Muhammad Sidi, however, is of the view that the installation of the bandits' leader, Ado Alero, as the Sarkin Fulani of Endo-Tondaji Emirate was one of the ways the emirate used to broker peace with the bandits in the community to enable farmers return to farming activities in the troubled area. He observed that the cancellation of the turbaning and subsequent suspension of the new emir of Birni Endo-to Emirate, Aliyu Marapa, will lead to renewed attacks, killings and abduction by bandits in the state.
What we have learned is that, honestly speaking, the federal government cannot conquer bandits, especially in the northwest, because a number of troops and security and collaboration with other security personnel have been assigned into the Federal States for quite a long time, but not a single bandits enclave, is destroyed.
Bachiri and Sidi believe that if the federal and Zamfara state governments must address insecurity, there is need to come out with a clear-cut strategy to deal with the terror groups so that peace and stability can return to the troubled communities.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, travelers commend the trailer park opening initiative. Details of this and more after the break. You stay with us.
Nsuka zone, they are all galas. Cultural wise, their masquerades are gala masquerades.
Gala nation had embarked on expansionist war severally.
Nobody dig his grave. Now he dig his grave, now he bury himself. If you are to be given a position as a traditional ruler, it must be the Ata who will give you the staff in those days.
We are from Igala.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now a recap of our top stories. Court remands suspended Accountant General Idris in Kuje prison over 109 billion naira fraud allegation. And 30 dead, 12 injured in ghastly motor accident along Zaria-Kano Expressway. Now, a total of 3,657 civil servants have so far been reported to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) for prosecution for failing to get verified on the Integrated Personnel Payroll Information System (IPPIS). The head of Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Emieson, disclosed this while briefing media organized by the Presidential Communications Team in Abuja. She said 61,446 civil servants from various ministries, departments and agencies had been verified on the IPPIS platform, adding that another 1,618 applicants were found to have used illegal or fake letters, while 874 officers suspended from the platform. She said the government saved about 180 million naira monthly and about 2 billion naira annually by implementing IPPIS. And travelers along Marawan Jos on Kaduna Zaria Highway have commended the establishment of a trailer motor park in the area. While drivers welcomed the opening of the trailer park, which has stopped indiscriminate parking on the highway by trailer drivers who usually stop over for rest, traders along the road say the development has affected their business. The report.
This is Marabanjos in Igadu local government area of Kaduna State. Trailer drivers and other long-distance travelers who usually stop over to rest once parked on this highway. This action by the road users disrupted free flow of traffic, resulting in accidents and other unpalatable incidents. This led to the building of this park at Marabanjos.
Gaskiya yanzu alhamdulillah saboda sada ba a samar da parking ba abin da ba lissahi kowa ya parka inda tsaya yanzu alhamdulillah an tattara a wuri guda an samu jama'a abubuwa sannan mun samar da tsare-tsare nan kuma mun sa no parking mun kafa no parking in ka duba za ka gani ba guda ba malam ba a parking a wajen nan idan za ka shiga gareji ka shiga in kuma za ka wuce ka wuce.
If a trailer develops a fault on the highway, we make sure they use triangle sign to alert motorists. The drivers also want the government to build pedestrian bridges and establish fire service points in the park to deal with any case of fire outbreak. We have children and women who use the road every day, so we call on government to build pedestrian bridge and to construct old garage due to large number of trailers. We want government to establish fire service office in the park. In case fire outbreak occurs, the service will quench the fire. The park has two phases, and we are now using phase 1. Therefore, we want government to complete the construction of the phase 2 to accommodate large number of trailers coming to the garage every day. While the drivers welcome the building of the trailer park, traders say the relocation of the park has affected their business.
Before, we cook many bags of rice, but now we barely finish 1 bag a day.
I used to make sales of 100,000 in a day, but now I hardly make 10,000 in a day. The resident also revealed that the influx of drivers and traders from within and beyond Nigeria, though good for business, also has some negative implications. The promiscuous living here contributes to the spread of sexual-related disease in this community. People come from different places, including Niger Republic. Promiscuity is high, and most women here are vulnerable because they have no means of livelihood. They appeal to government to fast-track the construction of Kaduna Zaria Kano Highway to reduce the rate of accident along the road.
Now, poor condition of parking space has been identified as the major reason contributing to roadside parking by drivers of articulated vehicles at Ngurore, one of the biggest weekly cattle markets in Adamawa State. In an interview with Trust TV, leadership of the Heavy Trucks Drivers Association of Ngurore Market said when the parking space got necessary construction, their contribution to the economic growth of Nigeria will be higher than what is currently obtained. Salis Lawan has the report.
This have been the challenging experience for the heavy trucks drivers on Ngurore Market. According to the leadership of the Heavy Trucks Drivers Association, bad conditions of the parking space sometimes lead to the loss of goods worth millions of naira. Mohammed is the chairman Heavy Trucks Drivers Association Ngurore, and he explained some of the challenges contributing to the parking by the roadside, to include security of the goods.
Government at all levels are trying, but we want them to do more. Gombe Road is a busy road. Commuters can see cars and trucks being disorderly parked on different lanes, which is leading to accidents almost daily. The main cause of these accidents is we have space for trailer park that can contain more than 500 trucks, but there are no structures that can accommodate the trucks, and we can't access the place.
Despite their contribution to the economic development of the country, however, the heavy trucks drivers face different challenges in the course of transporting goods from one region to the other. While identifying some of the challenges, they solicit for government intervention, which stakeholders believed will help reduce high cost of living.
We are taking grains, cows and goats, dry fish, onions. We are all carrying from here, we move over there with. This matter, there is no gain inside. We are just doing because of business. We don't have anything to do. If you put your motor, the diesel, from here to all those places, once if you went there, there is no gain inside. There is no gain inside.
Most at times, security personnel or agents block roads and demand us to pay token for them to clear the way. And if you seek for leniency, you will be harassed. In fact, there are those that will order you to make money transfer if you complain of not having enough cash. For instance, if you load goods or livestock from Mubi town to Calabar, you may pay at least 600,000 naira to security agents and area boys, even if you are transporting legitimate goods and have way bill.
Stakeholders said Ngurore heavy trucks parking space, if constructed, will have the capacity of accommodating over 700 articulated vehicles. These are some of the challenges the drivers and the leadership of the union complain about. They are looking for an urgent intervention from government to avoid parking on the main road, which causes accidents and many challenges to the road users. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
The federal government has so far released 4.7 trillion naira to finance expenditure in the 2022 budget. This is according to the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed. The minister disclosed this on Thursday at a consultative forum on the 2023 to 2025 medium-term fiscal framework in Abuja. The minister further explained that out of the 4.7 trillion naira spending, the government released a total of 1.9 trillion naira for debt service, while personnel costs and pensions gulped the sum of 1.2 trillion naira. And now for a look at the foreign scene, where Turkey says it's brokered a deal with Russia to unblock exports of grain from Ukraine through the Black Sea. The agreement is due to be signed in Istanbul on Friday afternoon by Ukraine, Russia, and Turkey and the UN Secretary General. The Russian Defense Minister, Sergei Shoigu, has arrived in Istanbul to sign the deal. Ukraine is one of the world's largest grain producers, and Russia has been blockading its major Black Sea ports. The world's shortage of Ukrainian grain has sent food prices soaring and left millions at risk of hunger. Diplomats say the plan includes Ukrainian vessels guiding grain ships through mined waters and Russia agreeing to a truce while ships move. Turkey will inspect ships to address Russian fears of weapons smuggling. The military in Sri Lanka has taken control of the presidential secretariat in the capital after brutally assaulting the protesters, according to reports. Soldiers also destroyed tents at the adjacent Gotagogama protest site, arrested several protest leaders and cordoned off the area together with about 100 protesters. The military assault came hours after the protesters withdrew from the Prime Minister's official residence. The protesters had already announced their intention to withdraw from the presidential secretariat on July 22. The assault on the protest sites, where 10 protesters were said to be badly injured, came after Ranil Wickremesinghe, a 6-time prime minister, took the oath as the country's new president. His predecessor, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, had fled the country after weeks of protests triggered by the country's economic collapse and growing public anger over his long-time political influence. And finally, in sports, Brighton have rejected a £30 million bid from Manchester City for left-back Marc Cucurella. The Spain international signed a 5-year deal with the South Coast side, joining from La Liga club Getafe last summer. A Barcelona Academy graduate, Cucurella has won senior cap for Spain and played for the under-23 side that won silver at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. City have already signed Calvin Phillips and Erling Haaland ahead of their attempt to secure a 3rd successive Premier League title. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe to watch us live on YouTube and of course follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.